You know, we are having discharges of nutrient-laden water that in our freshwater is causing algae blooms, and those algae blooms are going on out to salt water. Have you seen an impact that these algae blooms have had on sharks?
Well, it is a horrible situation that's going on in Florida, and I thank you, Mr. Nelson, for all your engagement on this. We need to do something. The fortunate thing is that in Florida so far, most of this impact has been in freshwater, but we do have some shark species and a relative of the shark, the sawfish, which is an endangered species on the ESA list, that uses the Caloosahatchee River for critical parts of its life history. Bull sharks use the Caloosahatchee as a place to give birth to their young and where the young grow up as a nursery area, and sawfish range pretty far up there, and that, as you know, that river is being very seriously impacted, not only this year but in previous years, but this year particularly bad, by these algal blooms. So yes, eventually this is going to have very serious ramifications for these shark populations that we're trying to rebuild through good fisheries management.
And the phenomenon out in the Gulf of red tide, is that affecting sharks?
Well, we know that red tide kills sharks. Most of them being fairly large and mobile animals, seem to avoid it. The little ones that get caught up in big blooms that can't swim fast enough do get killed, and we get small sharks washing up on the beach all the time in a serious red tide bloom. The problem, though, is that when you displace an animal because of some kind of environmental disturbance like that, they might survive that event, but you may have pushed them away from parts of their range that they should have been for feeding or for reproduction. Those impacts are the hardest to measure, but they're real. It's very similar to when Deepwater Horizon was happening, and we were out studying the effect of the spreading oil on shark populations. We found in the middle of the Gulf that a lot of these sharks avoided where the oil was. A lot of the coastal ones, though, were killed, but the ones that avoided it were thrown off their natural migratory cycle. So these things have very serious ramifications for the health of our shark populations.
And